We look to Portugal as an influential country and partner to play an important role in helping to pull the world back from the brink.
Your visit to Portugal represents a unique moment in our brotherly relations between both countries.
Nigeria and Portugal agree to pursue mutually beneficial interests.
Today, as we speak, diesel is selling for more than 800 naira per liter. This is really an unfortunate situation.
NLC to government, stop the bleeding economy and end people's sufferings.
To reform our electoral system through the Electoral Act and give Nigerians leaders that are accountable and responsible to the yearnings and aspirations of the people.
National Electoral Offences Commission Bill passes second reading.
Members of Boko Haram terrorists have continued to surrender to own troops at different locations in the theater.
Military confirms surrender of 4,770 terrorists in last 2 weeks. Good evening, this is NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stover in Abuja. Hingino John Adams will join us from Lagos. And you can follow this broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Nigeria and the Republic of Portugal have resolved to explore more policies and strategies towards deepening and expanding the win-win partnership and cooperation between the two countries in various sectors of their economies for a sustainable future. This was the outcome of the high-level talks between President Muhammadu Buhari and his Portuguese counterpart, Marcelo de Souza, in Lisbon. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
It was a warm and befitting welcome for President Muhammadu Buhari by his Portuguese counterpart Marcelo de Souza on arrival at Pescado Imperial. Diplomatic relations between Nigeria and Portugal spanned more than 4.5 decades, but President Buhari is the first Nigerian leader to pay a state visit to the European nation, and the show of appreciation by the Portuguese can better be imagined.
Having these two presidents come together at this time is historic, and the excitement is all over.
When you see a country treat your own president as one among equal, you feel very proud.
The highly elated President de Souza guided the Nigerian leader on tour of some historical places, including the 400-year-old monastery, before holding a one-on-one talks on areas of common interest. The two leaders later joined their respective countries' delegations for an enlarged meeting where decisions were finalized on the future of the relations between their countries, after which they addressed journalists.
We are delighted that we can count Portugal as a valued and reliable friend and partner. We share the same democratic values and look to increase and broaden cooperation in various fields at the bilateral and multilateral levels.
As far as I'm concerned, we were waiting for this visit since 2016. Nigeria is the largest African economy. It is a dynamic country. It is very close to being one of the most powerful 20 economies in the world.
President Buhari in particular told his host that with the world now at a crossroad, decisions they take as leaders could make or break the global community, which faces, amongst others, existential challenges with climate change, food insecurity, conflict, health, and energy issues.
We look to Portugal as an influential country and partner to play an important role in helping to pull the world back from the brink. We are optimistic that this visit will take Nigeria-Portugal relations to a whole new level.
Your visit to Portugal represent a unique moment for a political and social and economic, financial and diplomatic leap forward in our brotherly relations between both countries.
And before leaving the presidential palace, President Muhammadu Buhari was conferred with a befitting national honor of the Republic of Portugal, the Great Collar of the Order of Prince Harry, by the Portuguese leader, President Marcelo de Sousa. From Lisbon, Portugal, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria-Portugal Economic Forum has ended in Lisbon with a renewed commitment to open up a new vista of economic cooperation and collaboration between the two countries for enhanced mutual benefits. Addressing the closing session of the forum, both President Muhammadu Buhari and his Portuguese counterpart, Marcelo de Sousa, promised the desired political will towards building a strong, sustainable and shared economic future based on sincere friendship. Here again is Adamu Sambu with that report.
We have sold over $1 billion worth of LNG to Portugal.
The Economic Forum, with the theme Expanding Investment and Trade Opportunities between Nigeria and Portugal, demonstrates the willingness to prioritize private sector participation in promoting strong and sustainable economic cooperation between the two countries. From Nigeria alone, over 80 public and private sector companies, agencies and organizations stood to be counted.
With a population of over 200 million, very young and very dynamic people, Portugal would achieve enormous economies of scale by using Nigeria as a one-stop shop to access the African market.
We are facing today a very difficult situation in terms of the supply of energy to Europe, and I think Nigeria, working with Portugal, with other Atlantic nations, can be one of the solutions.
After the year 2020, trade relations between Nigeria and Portugal stood at over $1 billion, mostly in the oil and gas sector. Although this is a great progress, President Muhammadu Buhari strongly believes that a lot more can be done.
The Nigerian government officials in this room are on standby to provide all the necessary information you need. I have already directed the establishment of a dedicated Portugal working group headed by the Ministry of Trade and Investment to address any special concerns you may have. I want to assure you that we will take these requests seriously and our response will be swift.
I'm so proud, and the Portuguese government is so proud, and the Portuguese companies are so proud for having you here. We want to be more feeling at home in Nigeria. Not just a couple of companies, not just 10 companies. We want thousands of companies and thousands of Portuguese feeling at home in Nigeria. And that will be our legacy. Your legacy, my legacy, the legacy of this state visit.
The Portuguese leader, President de Sousa, who promised to be in Nigeria soon, described President Buhari's visit to Portugal as not only a visit of words, promises and intentions, but that of facts and achievements.
We can trust you, you can trust us. We trust you on gas supply. You never failed. And we could help you diversifying your economy. And we have companies, experienced companies, and centers of excellence to do it.
Our two countries have a long shared history, and we now have the political will to ensure our shared future is built on sincere friendship, cooperation, and mutual support. Nigeria is a very attractive investment destination.
At the event, several memoranda of understanding were signed between the Portuguese Trade and Investment Agency, the Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, as well as the Nigerian Association of Chamber of Commerce, Mines and Agriculture, NACIMA. In the meantime, President Buhari was also a guest of the Portuguese Parliament, where he was accorded a befitting welcome. He later held bilateral talks with the President of the National Assembly, Augusto Santo da Silva, behind closed doors. The President also granted audience to his Guinea-Bissau's counterpart, Umaru Sissoco Embalo, but details of their discussions were not disclosed. From Lisbon, Portugal, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Staying in Portugal, the Nigerian government has declared it will not compromise on the welfare, well-being and security of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora. Exchanging views with a cross-section of Nigerians in Portugal, President Muhammadu Buhari was emphatic that his administration will conscientiously remain alive to its responsibilities till the last day in office. Adamu has that story as well.
I'm delighted to be in the midst of fellow Nigerians in diaspora.
It is an engagement President Muhammadu Buhari enjoys having with the nation's citizens while on foreign trips. Gathered here to exchange views with him on matters affecting them and developments back home are Nigerian professionals in various fields of human endeavor as well as students across the European nation. Describing the diaspora community as veritable engine for growth and development, the President said the federal government values their huge contributions to Nigeria's economy.
In every field of human endeavor, Nigerians in the diaspora have thrived and leveraged on their skills to raise our country's profile higher, economically, socially, technologically, and culturally. You must continue to be our ambassadors at large in your comportment, actions, and character. You must excel and be the best in all your endeavors. While here, you must also not forget home, as you are the example we want to project to the rest of the world.
President Buhari is, however, of the strong view that although social media platforms empowered many Nigerians in the diaspora and gave them great influence, they must support efforts at curbing their excesses and preventing them from destabilizing the society.
As we have seen, social media can be a force for good as well as a force for evil. I therefore call upon you to use social media responsibly. We all want the best for our country and people, so let us strive to build, unite, and prosper our nation and people, and not to insult and incite from a safe and anonymous distance.
On the 2023 elections, the President said his administration will do its best towards ensuring that INEC delivers peaceful, transparent, free, fair and credible elections next year as he looks forward to a smooth transition to the next government. Both the Nigerian ambassador to Portugal and leadership of the Nigerian community assured the President that the 3,000 Nigerians in Portugal are peaceful and law-abiding.
The mission will continue to work with the Nigerian community to encourage Nigerians to shun all forms of crime, considering the damage to the image of our beloved country.
This administration has as one of its priority the setting up of a Nigerian school, a Nigerian house and a Nigerian hostel system to actually not just help our children, it will also establish our presence and our identity in Portugal.
The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabri Erewa, coordinated the interactive engagement.
Look at everybody in this hall. They have their businesses here and also in Nigeria. So what government needs to do is encourage them and also support them one way or the other, because if others are investing in Nigeria, Nigerians in the diaspora should also be our first line of investors. And they are here. They're all over the world and they're doing that. So NIDCOM is driving that.
Gifts were presented to the Nigerian leader in appreciation of his visit and selfless service to the Nigerian nation. From Lisbon, Portugal, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Apart from the projected gains of the UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon, a review of President Muhammadu Buhari's engagements in Portugal indicates an overwhelming sense of positives, with the announcement of a series of more meetings and the expected signing of some agreements. Garba Mohamed Nata'ala examines the benefits of Nigeria's bilateral ties with Portugal.
The bilateral relations between Nigeria and Portugal dates back to history at the time of exploration by European explorers in the 1400s. Their main goal was to find a suitable trade route with Asia. Accidentally, the Portuguese explorers landed on the sandy shores of Nigeria, which has an appealing sight to behold. Surprisingly, they were in a land similar to theirs, witnessing a highly industrialized place with systems in place for agriculture, arts, and rich cultural heritage in various kingdoms they encountered, along other indigenous civilizations in some parts of Nigeria. This prompted the need to begin trade with Nigerians, mostly with the Benin Kingdom. For the greater part of the 1400s, this long-standing relationship continues to grow from strength to strength. Successive governments of the two countries have continued to build stronger ties on many fronts. Cooperation centered on the economy, fighting corruption and security, as well as massive infrastructural development across the two countries. To further benefit from the mutual trust, a Portuguese company was awarded the construction of railway from Kano to Maradi, establishment of a joint commission to serve as the auspices of all aspects of bilateral relations between both countries. Military cooperation was also not left out, along with oil and gas exports. Much more outcomes are expected from President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to Lisbon, Portugal's capital, as Nigeria's economy continues to grow and represents more opportunities to expand the capacity of both countries. In Abuja, Garba Muhammad Natala, NTA News.
We'll take a short break here. When we return, the rest of the news will continue. Stay with us.
There are certain moments in the day when I need my me time to just unwind and indulge.
It's now available in 30 grams and 450 grams.
The power, the performance, concentrated power, concentrated performance, the partnership of concentrated power. Salty, the official regional partner of Paris Saint-Germain.
Our new toothpaste, Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection.
Why are we changing our toothpaste?
Because with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, I can be sure your teeth are cavity-free.
When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavity. Colgate is the world's most chosen toothpaste.
Colgate locks calcium in
Colgate is now available in 300 Naira and 500 Naira packs.
Shey you dey find ogbonge entertainment? No look far o. Na GoTV dey. Enjoy better film, correct season film sef boku, plus telenovelas from all over the world, football, educational and fun channels for your children. Naija shows them like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? No darling at all o. Go carry your GoTV decoder, go tenner plus 1 month max subscription for just 6,900 Naira. Be where stories live. GoTV. Love it.
Are you an entrepreneur? Are you involved in farming, manufacturing, servicing and other specialized value chain creation in non-oil export commodities? The Organization of Youths in International Trade and Commerce OYITC in partnership with NTA Television Enterprises Limited is organizing a Made in Nigeria trade show and exhibition in Texas, United States tagged Houston 22. Houston 22 is designed to promote creativity and productivity of Nigerian youths and women entrepreneurs, enhance economic empowerment, and attract foreign direct investment into Nigeria. It is scheduled to hold from 25th to 30th of July 2022 at the prestigious Expo Event Center, Houston, Texas by 9 a.m. daily. For registration, advert placement, and sponsorship, please contact Nafisat on 0803-331-0992 and Chingwe on 0905-596-1514. For further details, visit www.oyitc.com or www.ntatve.com.ng.
Motlalo, Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including reigning champions and 9-time winners Super Falcons of Nigeria, all in contention from July 2 to 23 in Rabat, Morocco. You can catch all the actions live on the NTA network service and NTA Sports 24, channel 270 on StarTimes, 434 on StarSat and 731 on Free TV. Come, join us to promote another championship round by the Super Falcons. For your advert placement, please call Hawa on 0803 312 1022. Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Rabat 2022. Game on!
Thanks for staying with us. In Accra, Ghana, Nigeria is reassuring regional leaders that it will maintain its strategic leadership role and continue to provide support to West Africa for enhanced stability, good governance and improved security. This was at the 48th Ordinary Session of ECOWAS Ministerial Mediation and Security Council meeting. Foreign Desk Correspondent Usman Aliu reports.
In the heart of Accra, the Ghanaian capital, ECOWAS chairman and president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo's message delivered by his foreign affairs minister and the one presented by president of ECOWAS Commission provided the tonic for their convergence. It is one of the major engagements on stabilization policies of the ECOWAS to return countries within the sub-region that have their democracies truncated back on the track. The other most important subject for deliberation is the issue of security. ECOWAS is concerned with terrorism affecting the region and is looking at that deeply with a view to defeating it.
These attacks, which were known to have been limited to Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger and Nigeria, are now extending to some extent to countries such as Benin and Togo. So clearly there is a need for us to pool resources to ensure that we fight this menace collectively.
Since the first coup that occurred in Mali, we had about 11 number of ECOWAS extraordinary meetings. And during that time, the head of state twice gave directive to the president of the commission to review the ECOWAS protocol on good governance and democracy. And part of the review was to ensure that they introduce the issue of term limit.
This Council of Ministers engagement is prelude to a wide range of issues considered by the ECOWAS to deal with at the moment and subsequently. From Accra, Ghana, Usman Aliu, NTA News.
Back home in Nigeria, the House of Representatives has passed for second reading a bill that seeks the establishment of Electoral Offences Tribunal. The bill also seeks the establishment of a National Electoral Offences Commission. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The Electoral Offences Tribunal Establishment Bill is seen as critical and of significance to the amended Electoral Act 2022, sponsored by House Leader and 4 other members. It made provisions for investigation and prosecution of electoral offences towards the improvement of the electoral process for credibility.
To reform our electoral system through the Electoral Act and give Nigerians a system that is going to throw off leaders that are accountable and responsible to the yearnings and aspirations of the people.
To establish the commission that will be dedicated to the deterrence and punishment of electoral offenders.
Other bills that scaled second reading include Bill to establish Nigeria Association of Paralegals, sponsored by House Chief Whip Mohammed Tahir Mungunu, Bill seeking amendment of Pension Reform Act to exempt National Assembly Service Commission from the scheme, sponsored by Olododo Cook, and Bill to amend Prohibition of Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Act to review upward the retirement age of persons with disability, sponsored by Babajimi Benson.
This same rule or law is applicable in South Africa and the United Kingdom.
This same thing is applicable teachers, judges, professors, and I can go on and on and on.
Also passed at second reading is the bill to amend the Inland Fisheries Act from Dozie Nwankwo and bill to establish an independent Auditor General's office for the Federal Capital Territory from Wulioke. The motion to appraise the contributions of the Economic Community of West African States (ECOWAS) to the development of Nigeria and Nigerians was adopted during plenary.
Despite Nigeria's larger than life financial contributions to the economic community of West African states, the country and its citizens seem not to have benefited immeasurably from her contributions.
We want to see the unification of our own sovereignty, common trade movement. That one should be there. But as we are investing in a headquarters in Nigeria, drivers, Your Excellency, most of them are not Nigerian.
House members supported the motion from Musaga on the need to arrest destruction of farmlands in parts of Plateau State.
Destruction of crops on over 1,000 hectares of farmlands. The communities in Bassa Jos North Federal Constituency have suffered series of attacks.
Plenary has been adjourned to 19th July 2022. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The President of the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs and Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar III, has confirmed the sighting of the crescent for the month of Dhul Hijjah. This informs the declaration of Thursday, 30th June, as 1st of Dhul Hijjah 1443 after Hijrah. Eid al-Kabir will consequently be celebrated on Saturday, 9 July 2022, while Arafat will be on Friday, the 8th of July 2022. The Sultan has also called on the Muslim Ummah to intensify efforts in acts of worship during the first 10 days of the blessed month of Dhul Hijjah and to pray for peace, stability and progress of the country. Meanwhile, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has reassured all registered pilgrims with state Muslim welfare boards and agencies to this year's Hajj that none will be left behind before the closure of Saudi Arabian airports this week. This was at a briefing to allay the fears of pilgrims arising from concerns over the 9,000 pilgrims yet to be airlifted, even as the July 5th deadline for arrival in Saudi Arabia approaches.
And so from our arrangement, we expect to finish majority of the flight by the 3rd of this month and to clean up in the event that there are any eventuality by the 4th of this month as well. In order to ensure that we meet our deadline, one of the airline has also is injecting from tomorrow 2 additional aircraft. That airlines of 2 aircraft will be using 4 aircraft to lift.
The Commission says efforts have been made to address the challenges also been faced by pilgrims going through some tour operators on scheduled international flights.
We have about 147 registered tour operators, and of these, for reasons which are inexplicable, 35 of them didn't get money in their account. And we are thinking of alternative means within the legal ambit to help them out of it.
Saudi Arabia allocated 43,000 slots to Nigeria. 34,000 are shared among 36 states and the FCT, while 9,000 went to the tour operators. The Niger state government has confirmed an attack by terrorists on a mining site at Ajata Aboki village in Gurumana ward of Shiro local government area. A statement by the Niger State Commissioner for Internal Security and Humanitarian Affairs, Emmanuel Umaru, indicates that the joint security team, which mobilized to the scene in response to a distress call, engaged the terrorists. A yet-to-be ascertained number of casualties on both sides was recorded, with an unspecified number of workers and 4 Chinese nationals reportedly abducted. The state government acknowledged the efforts of security operatives and the communities towards stemming insecurity in Niger State, with Governor Abubakar Sani Bello directing that the security agencies go all out to ensure the safe return of the kidnapped victims. And we hear that a total of 4,770 terrorists and their families surrendered to the military between the 1st and 15th of June 2022. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Bernard Onyuko, announced this at the Defense Headquarters, Abuja. Defense Correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
Conducted raid operations at kidnappers hideout in Mararaba ward of Yukum local government area of Benue State. In the process, one Mr. Ichen Baka, age 65, and his wife Salomi Baka are bandit collaborators. They normally give the bandits and kidnapped victims their house to use as hideouts.
The intensity of joint kinetic and non-kinetic operations in the northeast has continued to deflate the force and population of terrorists in the zone.
Members of Boko Haram terrorists have continued to surrender to own troops at different locations in the theater. A total of 4,770 of them, comprising 864 adult males, 1,415 women, and 2,490 children, surrendered to own troops at different locations within the theater.
Similarly, some criminals truncating the development of the nation's railway have been arrested.
Troops of Operation Wild Stroke on patrol at Today General Area and Guma local government area impounded a trailer with registration number Kwali 846XB along Udeyi, Makudi Lafia Road, fully loaded with cut-to-size vandalized rail tracks and sleepers. Consequently, all the 7 persons on board the vehicles were arrested.
Operation Octopus Grip in the South have arrested 47 oil thieves and other criminal elements sabotaging the nation's resources, while 77 boats were impounded. Ismail Musa, NTA.
Time now to go over to Lagos for details of stories. Let's welcome Hingino.
Thank you, Cyril. Historical and cultural relationship between Nigeria and the United States of America in the area of creative and performing arts is further strengthened as the Morehouse Glee Club is embarking on a tour of 3 cities in Nigeria. This is to celebrate the 50th anniversary of its tour of Nigeria. Gift George has the details of activities heralding the tour.
The American creative industry over the years has been influenced by Black African artists, especially from Nigeria, right from the colonial era. This has also influenced the African American music, culture, and performing arts, infusing the original African genre of music. This the Morehouse Glee Club thrived on in its first visit to Nigeria in 1972 by connecting with its African roots. 50 years later, several choral groups in America now sing in various Nigerian languages.
We use as African Americans originates from West Africa, originates from Nigeria. So being able to morph that into what we have in the United States and bring that back to you all so we can learn from each other has been rich and is important to keep our history as Black people alive.
The tour, therefore, provides a platform for cultural exchange between Nigeria and the United States of America in the creative arts.
Music, including spirituals, work songs, sorrow songs, all kinds of things began to develop as we create this hybrid thing or this culture that's called African American. And so just because they came to a strange land didn't mean that they abandoned being African.
In celebrating the 50 years anniversary of the Morehouse Glee Club tour for Nigeria, 40 students will collaborate with some Nigerian choirs for some choral performances.
They'll hear music from the Western European tradition as well as music from the African American tradition and some African songs.
The tour will see the group go to Enugu, Abuja, and Lagos. Gift George, NTA News.
The noble tradition of promoting excellence in Nigeria's business environment while seemingly impacting communities with developmental projects will continue to define the existence of Lagos Business School Alumni Association, even with new executives at the helms. This is the promise made by the MD CEO of Unified Payment Services Limited, Agada Apochi, who took over as the new president of the association at a handover ceremony in Lagos. Adeni Tayo reports.
Having drank from the fountain of knowledge provided by their alma mater, members of the Lagos Business School Alumni Association have excellence and the zeal to impact the society as shared values. For about 30 years, the association has offered them a platform not only to broaden their knowledge with continuous education, but also to serve both within the precinct of their alma mater and their host communities. Well versed in the tradition of the association, where he served as the immediate vice president, the managing director of Unified Payment Services Limited, Agada Akpoche, will for the next 2 years bear the torch of the association, taking over from foremost media entrepreneur Frank Aibogun. Continuity in vision is a key demand that the new executive hopes to deliver on by increasing its membership through new enrollment and opening of foreign chapters.
A committee will be constituted to work with different alumni members to ensure sponsorship by different organizations and employers of their employees for participation in different programs in the school. The president has outlined a clear plan of engagement and he has the support of all of us because they are all noble programs.
We've had a successful transition and this really shows the ethos of who we are. We have a very clear way in which we manage succession planning.
For these distinguished members of the old executive, it was time to receive due recognition for service rendered, especially during the onslaught of COVID-19 pandemic. Established in 1992 to support the visions of Lagos Business School, its alma mater, the association will, under the new leadership, seek a new height in excellence by expanding the frontiers of its corporate social responsibility. In Lagos, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for another breather. The news will be back shortly.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Now waiting up, you know chop. I need to feel well at all. I just think malaria dey worry me. And I don't tell Taylor me meet me for here. You supposed to go hospital make you go do test now. No waste of time, Jare. Mama Faith, I beg no vex, so no waste your time. You go stand up make I take your measurement.
Measurements? If you just look the person, you go sew the cloth where you go fit am well.
Now who dey do that kind of one?
Now people wey don't conclude say they get malaria where they never do test.
I don't hear. Sense, Mama. I receive sense, so I go do am correct now. But look, come measure me. Make I quick go do my malaria test.
If an a sign of plenty different diseases them, plus including malaria, when you quick do test and a malaria, they go give you correct medicine. Stop the waste your money on top waiting no dey worry you and make you finish all the medicine where they give you pata. Now Federal Ministry of Health and American people them bring you this message.
Times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
We're back in Abuja now. The Nigeria Labour Congress is urging the federal government to urgently find lasting solutions to lingering socio-economic challenges in the country, including insecurity, fuel scarcity, poor power supply, as well as the ongoing industrial action by university-based unions. The call was made at the National Executive Council meeting of the NLC, which centered on the state of the nation. Emmanuel Ayimiru reports.
Today, as we speak, diesel is selling for more than 800 naira per litre. This is really an unfortunate situation, and therefore it has affected productivity. Many of them are actually closing businesses, and many workers are losing their jobs.
To save the economy and put it back on track by making all components work optimally is the reason for this meeting of the Central Working Committee of the NLC. Other issues raised bordered on reconstitution of the Joint National Public Service Negotiation Council to begin the process of salary review, which last took place in 2009.
We shouldn't confuse the minimum wage with salary review. Salary review is a different bargaining process, and therefore is long overdue. And with the challenges of in the economy, where the purchasing power of ordinary workers have been eroded, and the minimum wage cannot even take us home, we will make a formal demand on behalf of the Joint Public Service Negotiating Council for the review of wages.
In a related development, the Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NOLGI, is urging other states to emulate Kogi and Abia Houses of Assembly that recently passed Local Government Autonomy Bill.
It is time to fix Nigeria. And you can't fix Nigeria without fixing the foundation. And the foundation of Nigerian growth is local government system.
Emmanuel Ayemiru, NTA News.
Time to bring on Benny Adams with business news. Benny?
Thank you and welcome to business. We'll start by telling you that no pensioner of the federal government under the contributory pension scheme is being owed, as pension assets hit 13.88 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2022. This was disclosed at the presentation of a report on pension reforms and innovations in Nigeria 2018 to 2022 by the Conference of Civil Society of Nigeria. Members of the civil society are calling for more awareness to enable small businesses prepare for the future through micro-pension.
These are not the areas where you see pensioners loitering the street of Abuja. That will tell you that the government is highly sensitive on the plight of pensioners and the pension matters in Nigeria.
It's part of our vision and focus and target to reach out to as much as we can, and we intend to really sustain this advocacy.
Well, the Nigerian equities market resumed its bullish run on the trading floor as market capitalization increased by 0.03% to close transaction at 51,817.59 basis points. Investors traded 223.1 million shares valued at 3.8 billion naira in 4,213 deals. FBN Holdings led the day's trading with 36.6 million shares valued at 424.1 million naira, and on the third spot is Transnational Corporation with shares worth 32.5 million naira, followed by UBA with shares worth 130.4 million naira. Well, that is business. The Doctors continues.
Thank you, Benny. Blueport Midstream Company Limited, an indigenous oil and gas company with an operational base in Iboko, Edo State, is up and running and will begin full commercial operations in July this year. Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Management Board, Simbi Wabote, on tour of the facility, is pleased that the federal government's investment in this regard is yielding needed results. Ajata reports.
In this remote agrarian community of Egboko in Orion local government area of Edo State stands this investment. The facility has a daily capacity to refine 10,000 barrels of crude per day, 60 million standard cubic feet of gas, 10 million standard cubic feet of compressed natural gas, 5 megawatts of power, and 20,000 metric tons of storage. It is one of the many efforts by the federal government to reduce dependence on importation of petroleum products and create jobs. The tour of the facility by partners, the NCDMB, is to ensure smooth takeoff of commercial production ahead of final verification by relevant regulatory body.
Between March and now, what I have seen is a marked improvement in terms of installation of the GPF, completion of the refinery installation, the power generation system, because this is an energy park. By July, this one will go live to tell you that there are modular refineries working in the country.
We have different components on one site. It's never been done before. Nigerians are going to see what is possible in this country.
Carrying the community, a lot of the work we do in the community has been outsourced to them as well. We carry them along.
What we are seeing here is an opportunity for every youth in the community.
This is, however, the first phase of the project and will begin with a 2,500 barrel daily production. In Egboko, Agatha Egwari Uju, NTA News.
The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association Suleja branch is on a one-week warning strike to protest the non-payment of their accumulated bridging claims. Lydia Sampson reports.
Briefing journalists in Abuja, the association said its members are not only operating at a loss, but some are already out of business.
We are marketers that serve Niger State, Kogi State, Nasarawa State, some part of Kaduna State, and Abuja. We are going to embark on industrial action for non-payment of our independent petroleum marketers' bridging claims.
They lamented that claims from the former Petroleum Equalization Fund inherited by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has not been paid. They allege that the non-payment of claims has led to inadequate product transportation by its members, leading to heightened scarcity of petrol in Abuja and its environs.
This strike is a warning strike. And if care is not taken, we are going to continue till further notice.
From what NNPC and all other people have been saying, there is a non-product at Lagos, but we don't have trucks that are serviceable enough for us to bring this product to this place and sell to you. So that's why we are crying.
The group claim it is in charge of Niger, Nasarawa and Kogi states as well as Abuja environs, as at the time of packaging this report, efforts to get a response from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority proved abortive. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
But we did get a response from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA. In the long run, it says its attention has been drawn to allegations made by Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, Suleja branch, on product scarcity as a result of non-payment of bridging claims. A statement by NMDPRA assured IPMAN of its willingness to continue paying outstanding claims to promote seamless operations in line with agreed templates. The statement added that 10 billion naira additional payment was made in June in line with the upward review approved by President Muhammadu Buhari, and the agency remained committed to an efficient conduct of midstream and downstream petroleum operations. We'll take another break. The news continues shortly.
Hello, Nigeria are the 9th champions in this competition.
The 12th edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations is here with 12 teams including reigning champions and 9-time winners, Super Falcons of Nigeria, all in contention from July 2 to 23 in Rabat, Morocco. You can catch all the actions live on the NTA network service and NTA Sports 24, channel 270 on Star Times, 434 on Starsat and 731 on Free TV. Come, join us to promote another championship round by the Super Falcons. For your advert placement, please call Hawa on 0803 312 1022. Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Rabat 2022. Game on!
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
A delegation from Ethiopia is in Nigeria on a study tour to glean from Nigeria's expertise on migration data management. Ruth Agwele reports that the Federal Commissioner of National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, received the delegation in Abuja.
Migration is inevitable as long as asylum seekers and refugees continue to explore different borders, including Nigeria. Data collection of these migrants are critical if planning for development must be sustained for the host country. These delegates from Ethiopia are in Nigeria on a study tour to partner with the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons to tap from its wealth of knowledge on data migration management.
As of today, we have 84,000 refugees, 1,556 asylum seekers from 34 countries. The Commission, in collaboration with IBED, have registered over 25,000 assisted refugees between January to June 2022. The Commission registered 1,893 refugees. The Commission also received 1,205 refugees from Ukraine in March 2022.
The challenge for the East African country at the center of intra-regional migration is to find a balance between facilitating and regulating migration data to maximize its benefits.
Migration data are very critical. Migration is a catalyst for inclusive development if we use it very effectively in making development much more successful.
The vast majority of Ethiopia's migration is irregular in nature. It is for this reason that we collaborate on the area of data and statistics which Ethiopia needs.
Both countries hope to strengthen this partnership to create a pathway for sustainable development. In Abuja, Ruth Agwele, NTA News.
As part of its commitment towards enhancing and sustaining the Nazari Livestock Development Center, Yobe State Government has flagged off sales of more than 2,000 bags of assorted animal feeds to herders at subsidized rate. The project is a collaboration between the federal and Yobe State governments aimed at boosting animal production and bringing to an end farmers-herders conflict in the country. Adam Yusuf has the details.
Located in Jakusko local government area, the multimillionaire Nazari Grazing Reserve is a collaboration between the federal and state governments initiated to boost livestock production and curtail the protracted farmers-herders clash in the area. Since signing of the agreements to develop the center in November last year, various projects have been going on to make it a modern animal production hub in the Northeast region. These are representatives of herders associations appreciating the latest government gesture of providing them with improved animal feeds, which they say will ease costs and associated difficulties experienced at the onset of the rainy season. The assorted animal feeds were sold to herders at 50% discount to prevent them from their traditional way of migrating southwards with their animals in search of greener pastures.
We have veterinary doctors here, 2 veterinary doctors that are assigned here. We have 5 health personnel livestock health personnel that are stationed in Jakusko Nursery. So they are responsible to take care of those facilities.
The Nazari Grazing Reserve is situated in the northern axis of Yobe State, notable for high population of livestock and influx of herders from within and outside the country. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf, NTA.
Now for a bit on sports.
The Tigers of Nigeria are set for the third window of the FIBA Africa World Cup qualifiers, which begins in Kigali, Rwanda on Friday, July 1, 2022. Currently ranked first in Africa, the Tigers will open their campaign against Cape Verde July 1 before taking on Mali July 2 and then conclude with the fixture against Uganda on July 3. Nigeria sits on top of Group A with 5 points from 3 games. In the meantime, the 42-kilometer Abuja International Marathon is set to debut in December this year with over 15,000 athletes from within and outside Nigeria expected to participate in what is planned to become the next level of marathon on the continent.
And ensure that we have a world-class race that will sell FCT and Nigeria to the world as a tourist destination, place to invest and do business.
Our goal is to build a second-to-none marathon brand with the Abuja International Marathon.
In tennis, Australia's Nick Kyrgios delivered a devastating 7 masterclass at Wimbledon as he blasted past Serbia's Filip Krajinovic 6-2, 6-3, 6-1 in 85 minutes on Thursday to charge into the third round almost without breaking sweat. Kyrgios will next face Stefanos Tsitsipas, who progressed with a 6-2, 6-3, 7-5 victory over Australian Jordan Thompson. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
That concludes the news tonight. But remember, let's do Let It Up in the war against rape and rapists. Be a star. Stand with the NTA against this menace. I'm Cyril Stover. Good night.
Thank you.